Okay, so a recording is in progress here. Um, so what I'm gonna do is, if you're logged in, and I do see you, both of you are logged in here, right? Good. So let me clear the screen. So very first thing I'm gonna show you is, when you log in here, you'll be presented with this window. Um, so when you go ahead and hit enter on your keyboard. So when you hit enter, what will happen is it will take you down um, to the next line here. Okay. So enter is basically at this moment, what we're doing is hitting enter to go to next line here. So now let's work on the very first command. So if you type pwd, okay, so what pwd means, this is referring to, PW stands for print working directory. Okay. And if you notice closely, you type in pwd and you see something came up on the screen. Okay, so the result of the command you put in is /home, and whatever the user you are, that is that user you're going to show here. So if you're Ahmad, Aliyah, or Zafar one, this is where it's coming up here. So what this is? This is called home directory. Okay, so the user, whoever is logged in, there is where the entry point for the operating system. Okay, so when you log into this Linux operating system, this is where you log into. So if you go on to a job and you are assigned a ID, this is where you come into. Okay, so this is called print working directory, but your print working directory at this moment is your home directory. Okay, so this is a user's one landing window. This is also referred to as home directory for the user. Okay, so a little bit later on, we'll be using this a lot. I don't know if there is a day with I am not using PWD. You use this every day because you need to know where you are. So it is simple and easy for you to do that. All right, so the very next command is, I type it here, clear, CLEAR, and hit enter. That's it. Clear is just clear. It clears the screen. Okay, simple as that. There is not much to it. And all these are considered commands. Okay, so let me go ahead and, oops. All right, you could see this window, all these windows are nice and clear, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not sure if you guys have a double monitor or anything of that. This is really good if you have a second monitor. If not, if you like, I have an iPad on the side and watch the video there, what I'm doing, and then have this here. It's really helpful. But anyway, so we are done with the second command, which is which clears the screen here. So now let's concentrate on this is just a concept here. So there one concept called input. Okay, input means something you're putting in here at the command line. So here, what I defined here is any command you are putting in from keyboard is input. So if I'm typing clear, that is input, okay? And if I am typing PWD, that is also input. So anything you're typing from it, you're giving operating system, which is Linux here, you're giving instruction using input, okay? So this putting in a command to the system is called input, and whatever the command output comes out is called output. The result that is displayed on the screen is called output. Okay, so pretty simple. You give a machine a command. So if you do clear, clear is also input, and the output for the clear command is it clears the screen here, okay? All right, so now let's continue. Let's look at the next command, which is called touch. Okay, I have it down here. Creates a file, and so if you log in to the system here and type touch, so I think I have some stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything. Don't use this command yet. I'm going to show that later what I am doing here. So if you do type touch, TOUCH space file1, okay, and hit enter. Now I provided the input here and I didn't get much output here. And the reason that it is the system output doesn't really, it's not 100%, it gives you some output here. So right now, we created a file using touch file1. And for us to find out if the file1 got created, type the command called ls. Okay, again, everything is lowercase. So go ahead and type ls there and tell me what you see. If you just see a single file or you see multiple files in there. Single file or multiple files, both of you? Multiple files?
I have one file. It says ABC Autumn 1.
Okay. All right, so that is fine. By the way, when you type PWD, where are you?
I am home.
Is it just home or slash
It's
ID?
home/Alia.
Okay, good. So you are in correct place here.
Okay.
All right, so when you type touch file1, did the file1 got created when you type
Yep.
ls?
Yep.
Okay, what about you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we are on a good page. So what happened is file1 got created, okay? And there is nothing in that file. It just creates a file because you wanted the system to create a file. Okay, now, so we used a command called ls. Okay, so what that command does is it shows you the output. Okay, so
So I have 3 files on mine.
yeah.
I think that's because last night I was following with some of your videos and I made 2 files.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's good.
So that's why I have extra ones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a command here, ls, and okay, so let me undo this here for a second. And let me do this. And so we created a file, and then we ran the ls command, and it created the file. So for that to for us to see, the ls command is there here. Give me one moment. I need to make this a bit thicker. Okay, there it is. Okay, that is a bit thicker, and all right. So this is what I wanted, and oh, it disappears also. Okay, so I think this is good for me. Okay, so now we have this here. So, all right, let me go ahead and clear the screen. So if I type ls, I have that file here, but there is not much going on with it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do ls space a little minus sign L. Okay, ls hyphen L, and I'll hit enter here. Now all of a sudden, I have a lot more information here, right? You see file one here, and then all you see November 38th, and this is the time the file was created. And this is the user. Whoever that user is, that user has created file one. Obviously, I created that file, so it's a Zafar one. And you see Zafar one more time here, right? So what this is a group Zafar one belongs to. So what will happen is we will have a big discussion. This is a separate topic in itself called user management and administration. Okay, and then over here you see a bunch of stuff here, right? So read, write, read, write, read, write. So this is also another a big topic, which is considered permissions. Okay, so what you do is this part is permissions. Okay, this is called permissions. Okay, and this is user and group. And this is a date stamp, timestamp, I should say. And this is a file. Oh God, I am not getting good.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If we put ls or dash one, it will give you all the files or only one file? Right now we have only one file, right? So it was showing one file. Otherwise, if it's more than that, it's going to show that too.
Correct. That is
Okay.
very correct. It will show you all the files.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so let me quickly take a screenshot and put it in a document here. So by the way, Linux is nothing but an operating system. And you guys heard about Windows, right?
Uh-huh.
But Linux, you may not heard much. What it really is also a operating system, just like Windows, but it is mostly done in the background. A lot of things are happening in the background for the Linux environment. So, for example, if you have uh, the Linux, um, what should I say is um, so Linux, it runs a lot of things in the background. Like if you're using uh, like your Mac is coming from the family of Unix operating system. So earlier, back in late 60s, AT&T, they developed operating system called Unix, and they weren't successful using it. So what they did was they made it public. And once they made it public, it is considered open source. And anybody who is using Linux operating system, they should be able to use it without any issues, and you should uh, you should make it public. That means it should be free for using um, for people. So if you're using it and you want to, if you make it any if you make it any better than what it was already, but you have to make it public. That means you cannot profit off of it. But here's the one thing here. If you want to make profit, the support provide, then you could charge your customers. So in
Uh,
a sense, it's a freeware. You could download it and use it as much as you want. Um, but when it comes to support, if you get stuck, then there is where you make money. I'm sorry, you have a question?
so they don't have any GUI on it?
There is GUI, that means a graphical user interface. But ever since I'm working, at least the last 15 years, it's not being used.
Oh,
Um, so there may be some instances where it could be used, but I'm not sure how and when it's being used.
so it's just like a AS400 command line.
Correct, correct. Are you familiar with AS400?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so AS400 also, what,
Unix.
AS400, is it a
Unix.
product of IBM?
Yep.
Yeah. So one other thing that happened is when AT&T made it public, they said, okay, we made the operating system, but we don't know what to do with it. So what they did was a lot of other companies like HP, IBM, big wigs, they took it and they made their own operating system. And then literally those operating system is free. But what they did was the hardware, they created a hardware which is very expensive. So you say, okay, the software is free. Then they made the hardware as if that the operating system only runs on their hardware. So they're making profit out of hardware, and what else you call it is a support. So that is how they are making some money. So they it's just a good way to circumvent around the concept of this freeware here. So okay, so I'm gonna clear this, and I'm having trouble. Why am I having trouble? All right, let me quickly stop and share the screen again, okay? Give me one moment. All right. Okay, so LS means list. Okay, so LS stands for list, short for list, okay? And it lists the content of the directory. Of the directory or PWD, okay? And then ls-l, what it does is ls with list. This means the output will be long list, okay? And I'm gonna put this here. So -l means you have a lot of information here compared to a regular ls. All right, so let me clear the screen. So moving along, there are other things called, there are other things which are hidden, okay? There are some things we could see, some things you cannot see. So for that, if you want to see any hidden files in the system, not in the system, in your present working directory, wherever you're working right now, if you type ls-a, oh, now you have a lot more information here. It used to be only file one now. Now what you have is a bunch of other things which are showing up here, okay? So let's go ahead and bring our previous command ls-l, and then I'm attaching a also. Okay, I'm combining two switches for the command ls to get a better output, okay? So now when I do this, you see a very good output here. ls-a, it just gives you output, which is showing all files. -a means show me all files, the files which are not, I cannot see as a regular user, a regular command. Show me all the files which are not being seen here. So if you notice here, some of these files has a little period before it starts, right? So like this period bash, period profile, period bash rc, so on. So what do you mean by a file that starts with period? That means the file is hidden. That means the file is not shown using a regular command ls-l or ls, stuff like that. If you add a switch -a, what it does is it shows you the better output, okay? So that you could read it better. So right here, I have it here as -a is, that is what the output you're showing. And then ls-al, this is a combination of two switches. Okay. The very first switch is we learned is -L and -A, second one. So -L gives you long list and -A gives you anything which is hidden. So these are all the hidden files except this one here. This file we created it. Everything else is hidden here. Okay, so now as you are working along, what you could do is you could see the commands you've been using is actually being saved. You could track whatever commands you are using. So for that, type history and hit enter. Voila. You have all the commands you've been typing in here. I've been typing about 1,000 commands lately, but you should have so far a bunch of commands here, right? So what it does is it has about a list of 1,000 commands here. Okay, so if you look here, I use the last command as history. The one before that was clear. The one before that was LSF and AL, and so on. And then it will keep your history. Um, you know what? Yeah, it will keep the history. So I have about 1,000 lines here. At my work, I have a history that goes up to like 5,000 lines. I never really pay too much attention there, but it is good to see at least you get to see what you have done. Not just, okay, yeah, in this instance, just yourself, because you're logged in as a user. Later on in future, we'll use the administrator account. And that way you could see what a previous administrator who was working on the system has done to the system. So I use this history command every day, quite often, not just quite often, every day. So how do we use this history for our advantage? Pretty simple here. You just go in here and then find out what you really want to do, okay? So if you want to do touch file one, you could do that also, or I'm interested in running this command here. Command number 1019 ls-l. So what I could do is to invoke this command or execute the command. I type exclamation mark and then I type 1019 1019. Okay, and I hit enter. Okay, so what happens is you're telling the system to run this command from the history, which is number 1019. So what the system does is it executes that command, and actually it's showing you what it really did. It ran this command, and this is the output of the command. Okay, so simple as that. So
That's good.
so you want to run this command, and you ran using exclamation that command, and it is showing here what command it is running, and it will give you the output here. This is output. All right, so let me delete this. All right, so moving along, I'm using a command clear again. And what I should do is the command I'm gonna run now is, okay, by the way, history, you have already ran so much commands here, and it is showing you a lot of, it's showing you last 1,000 commands, right? it's too much for you. So what you want to do is, oh, I don't want that many commands to be visible. I just want last 20 commands I want to see. So all you do is type history and type 20, okay? So what happened here, it shows you last 20 commands. Even it is capturing the command you just have ran, history, clear, and all this here. So by the way, again, I type history space 20, that means this is a input and this is output, okay? Output of the command history 20 is the list of commands, okay? So here, let me just delete this. So if you want to do history hyphen 20, okay, so displays last 20 commands used, okay? All right, let's see what else. Okay, so simple as that. There's not much you need to explain there. So what else you could do is, instead of using history, if you're like want to go, if your command is a bit longer, you'll see later on, sometimes the commands gets a little bit longer here, okay? So if you do up and down arrow key on your keyboard, what you could do is you could scroll through the commands you've been using. Okay, so if you go up and down, you could scroll through the commands. And for example, let me bring a command and go up here quickly, okay, and I hit enter. So you could definitely do that too. And so here's, I put in here, I'll use up and down arrow key to bring up commands used here. You could go all the way up to 1,000 commands, but if you have time, you could do that. But generally, what I'm doing is I'm just going up and down here real quick if I need a longer command. Later on, when we have a bunch of longer commands, we could start using it here. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is running multiple commands together, okay? So um, we have learned single command so far, right? If I go into history, if I could type it correctly. So if you see here, I've been typing these single commands here. So what I'm going to do is, let's type some commands together. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to type PWD. It shows me the print working directory, also your present working directory, okay? And then I type a semicolon, okay? To separate the command from one command to another, you type a semicolon and then type ls-l, okay? Okay, and then another semicolon. And let me do another ls here, a single ls semicolon. You don't have to give space here, but I'm just giving extra space so that you could see it better. Then I will do like history 20. Let me do just history 5 so that the output is smaller. So when I hit enter here, there you go. It ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commands. Okay, 4 commands. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is command 1, this is command 2, this is command 3, and this is command 4. Okay, so the output for the first command is here, pwd, okay? And then output for the second command is here. And output for the third command is here. Remember, we use the regular ls, it shows only the file here. We have not used the one with bigger long list. So the one with the long list is here. And then we are asking the system to show the history. So last history we are showing here is last 5. Now see how the command got a bit bigger. And then if you roll up using an up and down arrow key, you could quickly bring that command up and run it again. Okay, so that's all there to it. There's nothing much to it. So if you're running simultaneously multiple commands, this is what you do. So also this is a building block of script. This is how the scripting starts. You have, if you want to script something, run multiple commands simultaneously, that is called scripting. Okay, so this is a building block of scripting something. So we will touch upon how scripting and all that is going to be there. And so this is already explained here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create multiple files here. We have already created a single file, but let's take a look and create multiple files here. So what I'm going to do is touch doc1, doc2, doc3. Okay. So what the system does is earlier we did touch file 1, right? Now we are using, okay, it's gonna create the same exact format of the file, which is a text format. So that command is going and creating file document 1, touch document 2 and 3 at the same time. And if I hit enter, and if I do a regular ls, I do see 3 files here, right? Doc1, doc2, doc3. And if I do ls-l, there it is. Doc1, doc2, doc3, and then the previously, which is a file which we created previously as an existing file. It is showing that also because that file is already sitting there. Okay, that file has not been deleted or is not going to go anywhere, but it's still there. All right, so there is not much to explain than what I've already explained. It's very simple. So now let's clear the screen. Let's create a hidden file. So far we've seen a hidden file which is generated by the system, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own hidden file here. Okay, so I'm going to do touch asterisk file 2, okay, and hit enter. And then if I do a regular ls, I'm not going to see file 2. Why I'm not going to see file 2? Because I created a file 2 as a hidden file. So I have to use -a switch, which is -a means stands for all. It shows all the files. So let's see here. I think -l ls bit switch. This means the output will display all files. Okay, yeah. And the hidden files start with a period, okay? It starts with a little period. I already explained that. So let's get back to here. So I could see ls-a. So ls-a. All right, so it's showing all files including our doc1, doc2, doc3, our original file one, and then this is a hidden file. So I could use ls-al again to see all the files here, like a newly created files and a hidden file and our regular file, and these are the system generated files. So we're not worried about this at this moment. We'll go through if we need to later on. Maybe we'll work on some of these files that start with bash. But at this moment, we're not worried about that. All right, so far, we have made a file here. What about the directory? Directory in the sense, what about the folder? Okay, directory or a folder means it's the same thing. Okay, so right now, type mkdir folder one, okay? And hit enter. And if you do a regular ls, you see a folder one here. By the way, folder one is bit highlighted here. It shows you in the color. For here, it's showing blue. For you guys, it may show a different color here depending on how your background is set up. Okay, and I could see the long list also, ls-l. And here I'm seeing similar long list here folder, and it has a timestamp, who created this user, and date here, and then these are the permissions. Permissions look a bit different for the folder compared to the document files, but this is a big topic in itself. We will touch upon that. Okay, so we have created a single folder. Similarly, we could create a multiple folders also. Okay, so I'm gonna say mkdir folder 2, folder 3, folder 4, and hit enter. Okay, and I'm gonna run the command ls-l. So now originally the folder 1 was there. Now at 10:03 a.m. folder 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. So that way you could create multiple folders and multiple files with a single command. Okay, all right, so this is good. All right, so let's go ahead and create a hidden file. Okay, so how would we create a hidden file? I'm sorry, hidden folder. Same thing, mkdir, but since this is going to be hidden, type a period there and then type the name of the directory you want to create. So in this instance, I'm creating a directory called dir1, and I'm going to hit enter. And then, okay, so dir1 already existed. Okay, so why it existed? Because I have created earlier. So I'm going to run this command. Don't worry about this at this moment. So now I'm going to go ahead and create the directory one more time. dir period, I'm sorry, mkdir. mkdir stands for make directory. Creates the hidden directory, but mkdir is nothing but mkdir creates a directory. Directory means nothing but a folder. You know, you're familiar with the folder, you put it in a drawer, a folder,
Yep.
and then the files we've been using is just the paper files you could correlate to. All right, so this is what I have here. Okay, so if I hit enter mkdir dir1, if I do a regular ls-l, I'm not gonna see this. Why I'm not gonna see this? Because this is hidden. For me to see that, ls-al, show me all files with long list. So there it is, dir1. Where is the dir1? Right here, dir1 is not showing. Okay. All right, moving along. So there is a command built in here called tree, tree. Okay, so now this command, what it enables is it allows you to see the command, or not the command, the files and directories in such a way that it's a bit like a tree format, how things are laid out. Okay, existing present working directory in a layout format. Okay. Now, okay, so we have the directory here, folder one, right? I want to go inside that folder. If you want to go inside the folder, you know the folders are there. You do ls, you have like regular folders and everything. Okay, all of a sudden you have a need to go inside the folder. Excuse me. Type cd folder and then name of the folder, okay? Folder one, and hit enter. Now, if you do pwd, you are in that folder right now. So earlier your pwd was /home/Zafar. Now your present working directory is folder one. So the entire address for folder one is /home/Zafar1/folder1. Okay, so now we are kind of going into a arena where it's called, this is called a path. Path means the path means where that folder is located, location of the folder. Okay, so over here, last time I wrote down, this is a path of the present working directory. So when you type pwd here, earlier also, when you are seeing only /home/Zafar1, that is also a path to Zafar1. Now that we are in a different directory or a folder, so this is the full path of the folder. Which folder? This folder. If we go into this folder here, the full path of that folder would be /home/Zafar1 and folder 2. Okay, I'm gonna give a 2-minute pause. We'll continue. I'll go get the coffee, and you guys let me know if you have any questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, I'm back. So any questions? All right, no questions means we could continue. Okay, let me clear. So what else you could do is, so go ahead and type just CD, okay? When you type, just type CD and hit enter. I know I said change directory here, right? But only typing CD and hitting enter, it will bring you back to your home directory. If you type PWD, you will be like home slash and your ID. Okay, that's what it does here. So one thing I'll show you is how to use a tab key, okay? So what tab key does is, if you do ls here, you have multiple folders here, right? Multiple files, which is starting with F. So what I could do is, sometimes the folder or file name is a little bit longer. So what I could do is I type CD and I type FO and I do a tab key on the keyboard. It will autofill this part here, okay? It will autofill this much part, and then if you do 1 and do a tab key, it will bring up a slash. That means it took the correct file. That means when you're typing the CD and tab key, and then if a little slash comes up, that means that folder name is correct. And I hit enter. I type CD again to jump back to my directory, which is my home directory. And if I type CD folder, this time around, I'm going to go to folder 2 and hit enter. It brings me back to my, I'm sorry, it changes me to the folder 2. Okay, so let me go back here again. Now let me create another directory here. This time I'm going to give it a name, directory 1. mkdir directory 1, directory 1, and hit enter. And if I type tree, I could see directory 1 here. If I type ls, I see directory 1 here. Let me clear the screen. If I type ls-l, I do see directory 1 here, okay? So how do I change in there? Just type cd directory. And then if I type pwd, this is the full path of the directory 1. There would be /home/Zafar directory 1. So if we take a look here, if we type tree here and hit enter, there is since you are in directory 1, there is nothing much going on in directory 1. Let's go back to CD and then I type directory 1. No, I type 3. I think I made a mistake here. So let's remove the directory 1 here. So do rm-rf and directory 1. Remove it from there. I'm supposed to create a directory 1 in folder 1. So let's go ahead and go to CD folder 1. Let's go in there. And then I'm going to use the scroll up and down to create a directory inside folder 1, okay? So mkdir folder 1. And now type pwd. So you are in the folder 1 here. So let's change to directory. CD, I'm typing only dir and do a tab key, it autofills it for me. pwd. Now I am in now the path for the directory 1 is different now. Home, Zafar 1, folder 1, and directory 1. So it's keeping the previous path, and then since directory 1 is inside folder 1, it becomes the path for directory 1. Okay, I'm gonna give like 30-second pause. Are you guys with me so far? Are you guys able to create the?
Yeah, actually, you created a folder in a root, and then you created uh, one more folder within the root, right?
Yeah, directory 1. Yeah, from there.
Then you
Actually,
remove the one directory one from the root. Then you created a subfolder within the folder, right? One.
yes.
Okay.
Does it look the same to you in your
Yeah,
system?
yeah, yeah. I'm step by step. I'm going through what you type.
Okay,
So
good. There was a mistake. So,
okay, all right, no issue. Uh,
okay. All right.
my my one question is, if we want to jump back, not to the main root, if we want to jump back one folder back, then
All right. Then this is what I'm showing you next.
oh, okay,
So let me show you one concept here. If you do like ls here in an empty directory, you don't see anything here, right?
correct.
If you type ls hyphen a l, you see a period, and then there are two periods. So these period and two periods are actually folders itself. If you notice here, I didn't mention this earlier. The permissions, if you look at the permissions here, it starts with D. D means directory. That means it's a folder.
Oh,
Okay, so here, okay, here single dot and double dot. Okay, here, so the single dot means it's present working directory, and two dot means the parent working directory. So let me clear the screen. Let me do ls hyphen al. I mentioned single dot means present working directory. Okay, so there is a single dot here. And I also mentioned these are directories here. So if I do cd and a dot, it will loop back and came back to the same directory. Okay, do you see that? Go ahead and
mhm.
type cd and a dot. You don't get any error. It looped back and came back to the same directory again. Actually, it did change the directory, but it changed directory to itself. You come back in your own home, on your own room. And then cd dot dot. So in here, in the text, I mentioned this means parent working directory of the directory you are in. So here I am in this directory 1, right? So I'm here directory 1. What would be the parent for this directory 1?
Folder one.
Folder 1, exactly. So now if I type cd and dot dot, what I will do is I will go back here. And if I do pwd,
Yeah.
so cd dot dot is like stays there, loops. Okay, it loops and stays there. So when we did a couple times, it stays there here. CD, I'm sorry, CD dot, it loops there and stays there. CD and couple dots, it goes back to the parent directory. So it went to the folder 1, parent of directory 1. Parent of directory 1. I'm not sure why this is not writing correctly. That's a disappearing one. It is too thick. Okay, that is better. This is good. Okay, so did I made it clear, or you want me to explain one more time?
No, I'm good.
Okay, how are you, lady? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, good, good. All right. So the thing is, these are very easy and simple,
Mhm.
but as the things are going to progress, is going to get complicated. So what I'll tell you is why would things get complicated? It's just combination of many other things, right? So in future, we're going to be using the combination of multiple commands. If you understand this, voila, it will be so much easier in future that once you know the basic command, everything else is nice and easy. So essentially what we're doing now is we're just learning how to ride the bike, okay? And after that, once you know how to ride the bike, I mean, it's a second nature, right? When you are start pedaling and moving around, you don't need to I don't need to tell you if you get on bike, you have to pedal, right? You are automatically pedaling. All you have to do is navigate around. Okay, where you going in the neighborhood, things like that. So this is really, really easy for now and is going to get interesting. Now, if you type tree here, now it's starting to get a bit visual here, right? So you see all these are in the same level. These are in same level, these are in same level, these are. However, folder 1, there is another directory inside folder 1 is called directory 1. By the way, this is how the operating system files and folders looks like, okay? Is literally like a root. I'm going to go over what a root means in a bit, but not today. And this is how it gets like, these are just a visual representation oversimplified. In reality, there are thousands and thousands of files inside each files and directory.
So this is a file system?
Yeah, this is the entire operating system, file system, which is based on.
Oh, okay.
So at this moment, just think it of as a tree, root, trees, a trunk. So the operating system is, you could literally compare it with a tree. You have a root, then you have a trunk, then you have a branches, and then so you have one single trunk, but you have multiple branches, and that multiple branches have like multiple smaller branches, and then the leaves, you could consider those leaves as files.
Got it.
Okay, so here you are changing multiple directories here. So what I'm doing here is I am here. See, it is showing a period here. If you look closely, it is showing a little dot, which is a period here. You know what? Let me change the background and see if it's gonna change anything. By the way, you could customize this if you're using Putty. And I think um, foreground, modify. No, let's keep foreground as this. And background. Mm. Is this any better or the previous one was good?
It's okay.
This one is a bit visual here. Mm. Let me see if I could change one more color here. Default foreground, modify. Yeah, I'll just go back to the original one. And then change color, default background. Oh, shoot. I made a mess here. Okay, so I think I may need to make it a bit bigger. Here, make it 22. Okay, yeah, this is good. Okay, so if I type tree here, if I type tree, and you see visually here, right? So
Mhm.
right now I'm sitting here in PWD, okay? And then if I do ls, so I see folder, I don't see directory one. So how do I go into directory one? So what you do is type cd folder one, then a slash, then type dir and do tab. So it will autofill it for you. So now we learned how to change single directory, right? Now we are changing like multiple directories. So from here, we are coming into folder one, and from there we are going to directory one in a single shot. So we are here, right? From there, we are going here, and we're going in there. So that is what we are doing here with this command. All right, so let me do the screenshot.
My tree does not look like your tree.
Okay. Type PWD and hit enter and tell me where you're at.
I'm in folder 1.
Okay, yeah, that's why. Just type CD and hit enter, then type tree.
Okay, that looks better.
All right. So you're learning the tricks of the trade,
Yeah.
and I hit enter, and if I type PWD, there it is. You are in there.
So we can define path to in a CD, though it will directly jump into that folder.
Yeah, that is where we are defining, right? When we did CD, give me one moment here.
Actually, on my tree, I actually created 3 documents and 4 folders under folder 1.
No, even better, even better. So, what you could do then is under folder 1, what do you see?
Under folder 1's in blue, and it's got directory 1 in blue. Then it's got document 1, 2, 3, and folders 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's got folder 2, 3, and 4 in blue under that.
Okay, so run this command only for you. rm -rf rf and asterisk, okay, and hit enter. You're doing this in folder 1,
Okay.
and hit enter
Okay.
and do ls. All should be gone. You should.
Yes.
Okay, now do pwd and tell me where you at.
I'm in home / Alia.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's do this here. Can you share your screen?
I can't. I have the directory or the terminal up on my laptop, and the
Oh,
Zoom is on my phone.
okay, okay. So let's recreate what we have here. So if you do ls, there is nothing you're seeing there, right?
If I do ls, I have 2 files I had made last night, and document 1, 2, 3, files 1, and then folders in blue, folder 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so okay, did you say document 1, 2, and 3 is there?
Yes.
Okay, so simple. Just create there wherever you are. Do mkdir space folder 2 space folder 3 space folder 4.
It says files exist.
Okay, so
Says
so now,
mkdir cannot create directory. Folder 4, file exists.
okay, so folder 4 is already there. Now type tree and tell me what it looks like.
Well, I have documents 1, 2, 3. Then I have file 1 in black, and then it's folder 1 in blue, directory 1 in blue and documents 1, 2, 3 in black. Folders 1, 2, 3, and 4 in black, and then it's got folders 2, 3, and 4 in blue.
Okay, so switch to folder 1, CD space folder 1. Then type ls space minus L. Now
Okay.
what do you have there?
I have directory 1 in blue, documents 1, 2, and 3 in black, and folders 1, 2, 3, 4 in black.
Okay, type rm space minus rf space, then type a asterisk. Like a star sign, you have to hold the shift key and number 8
Okay.
and hit enter.
Okay.
And you just do the regular ls, you shouldn't see anything.
Nope.
Okay,
Nothing.
now just simply create mkdir space directory 1.
Directory 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
and do ls, you should only have directory 1 there.
Yes.
Okay, now if you want to go back to the home directory, just type cd and hit enter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm home.
And now see tree if it's matching up. I think there are extra
Yes, now it's correct.
while one
Thank
is there.
you.
All right, no problem. You're doing good.
Thanks.
Okay, so so I went from directory folder 1. So now you should be in here. Both of you should be home, your ID, then folder 1, then directory 1, right? So what I'm going to do is we already learned cd dot dot.
Mhm.
cd dot dot will take you from directory 1 to folder 1 right here, right?
Yep.
Now what we're going to do is cd dot dot a forward slash a dot dot again.
I'm not in directory.
Okay,
I'm in home.
okay, so do cd into folder 1, and then while don't hit enter yet, then push a tab key, a little slash should show up. Is it happening?
The tab key? No.
Yeah, type cd, then type folder 1
Mhm.
and push the tab key on the keyboard.
Nothing happens.
A little slash came in front of folder 1.
No.
Push it like twice.
Nope.
Okay, just clear everything and type pwd. Where are you?
I'm in folder 1.
Okay, folder 1. Then type cd, then you just do the tab key. So it should automatically put the directory 1
Yes.
automatically fill in for you. Okay, then hit enter. Then type pwd. So
Now I'm in directory 1.
correct. Okay, so now you learned that pwd is your friend. It will tell you where you at.
Yes.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we are going a directory back. So in this case, what you're doing here is, so CD, this part of CD is this CD, it will take you to folder 1. okay? And this CD2 dots, it will take you to right here, Zafar 1. So let me do the screen capture. Okay, and if I execute the command, if I hit enter now, and then it will do PWD, it will bring it back me to Zafar 1. Why that happened? Because I chose to go 2 directories back. CD dot dot takes you to the parent directory, right? Now you're telling CD to like not, don't just go to parent directory, go like one more directory above that. So that is what happened here.
Actually, you jumped from a parent to parent directory, right?
Correct. Correct. That is exactly what it is. Every directory has its parent directory. So we jump from a parent directory of directory 1, which is folder 1, and the parent directory of folder 1 is Zafar 1. So that is what we did here. We are saying, oh, here CD go to the parent directory of directory 1, which is folder 1. Then you are saying at the same time, okay, then go to the grandfather of that directory. So that would be Zafar 1. So when you go like 2 generations up, you come back to this directory. So all this is possible when you using PWD a lot. When you do PWD a lot, then you could go back up, keep going up, up. And there is a limit. You come to the root. We'll discuss this when we are discussing a root. Now, if you think, oh, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to come back here. How are you going to go back to this directory without typing CD folder 1, directory 1? All you have to do is CD and a minus sign. What will do is it will throw you back into directory 1. There you go.
Ah,
Now this comes handy when you are buried like 10 folders down in a different multiple branches. That will come handy here. Okay, so okay, CD minus, this will bring you back to the previous working directory. Yeah, okay. So what I'm thinking is we are caught up with what we did last week here, okay? So I think I'm gonna stop here today. Normally they would have been another hour, but since the turnout is low and then all I really wanted to who else is there? Oh, Mohiuddin. Okay. So yeah, I think Muhammad is hey Muhammad, what do you I could create an ID for you. I have you been following all along all this?
Yeah, I have. Since I joined. I joined a little late today, but yeah.
Did you join last week?
No, today was the first time. I thought it was the first class today.
Oh, okay. No worries. It is first class anyway, so anybody who joined today is their first class because other students, I think, they ate too much and don't want to show.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I was just watching, but I've used Putty before, just barely, so
Mhm.
so I'll install that and start using it.
Yeah, let me give you access here.
So with the putty, we can play around anytime, right? So
Yeah,
no
yeah,
time restriction.
this is up 24/7. Please use it responsibly because it's a full-blown operating system.
Oh, okay.
And please don't share with anybody. I mean, that's a good habit, is not to share with anybody, I mean, you shouldn't. If somebody want to join, let me know. I could put them in the class. But be cognizant of uh, not sharing this with anybody here. So,
Understood. So this recording or this uh, the things you are typing, it's going to be update on the website too, right?
oh yeah, yeah. After this, give me about 15-20 minutes. I upload the website as well as the recording and document. And all you have to do is just go in there and refresh it.
That would be
And
nice.
yeah,
Yep.
it will update here. All right, guys. So, okay, anybody remember the airline crash like 4 or 5 months ago?
Where?
Airline was airlines were having so many delays, right?
Oh, the system crash.
Yeah. So that systems were running on Windows.
Yeah.
If it would have been Linux, that problem wouldn't. I wouldn't say like 0%, but it wouldn't be as terrible. Since then, the demand for Linux has gone up. So, please remember that, and then just put your good effort in here, and you should be successful. Mohammed, what should I put your ideas?
You may use how many characters?
Yeah, or what do you want? Either a shorter name or full Muhammad there?
You can put I go by Saad, Saad, Saad.
Oh, okay. That's my brother's name actually.
It's my middle name. Yeah, it doesn't show up sometimes.
Okay, did you join the WhatsApp group?
I did. That's the reason I was able to join today, this call.
Okay, so which one are you?
Let me see. It's ending 5202. I don't know if you can see that.
5202. I don't see you in the group. Just say hi in the WhatsApp group.
Sure. It's ZM ProTech Academy, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me do that.
Oh, okay. I see it now. So let me send you this here. Oh, okay. I see. You are in East Coast, right? Where are you?
I am. I'm in Virginia, Northern Virginia. Yeah, DC.
Okay. All right. Very good.
What about yourself?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay. Oh, must be pretty cold there right now.
Yeah. We were dodging it for the entire season, but now you can't do that anymore.
Pretty much same here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I got that. What about so I installed Putty and then I need the server info.
Yeah, the server info is you go in here and you go PuTTY connection information, and this is the IP.
And where is this document? This address? I guess I just use this.
Yeah, so right here, are you looking at the website?
Yeah,
You
that's
see
what
the screen, right? So you go to website,
All right.
go to PuTTY connection,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see the IP address there.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a good forum right now or this is a good time, but maybe, if it's not, you can address it later. I mean, I've used this many years ago in college. I was trying to I did a minor in computer science and we were using PuTTY at that time and pretty much looks the same even today. It's amazing. Um, so what do you build up to? I mean, what are you like? I know you're moving around, but what do you? So is this a Linux class? I guess this what it is.
Yeah, this is a purely operating system.
Okay.
Um, so there's a thing here. If you know Linux compared to Windows, it's automatically you are paid like 40% more than a
Mhm.
Windows engineer.
Mm-hmm.
That's added advantage. And so also in here, when you learn scripting and stuff, there will be a building block
Mm-hmm.
for you to learn a bit harder things like Python and I have a scripting class also. I will touch that on it and Ansible. Um, but the scripting class, if you understand that basic stuff, is similarly you could pretty much apply elsewhere, especially Python, uh, C++, and all those. Those are all similar building blocks.
Yeah, that's what C++ is the class I had many years ago. So that's what we were using. I think we were using Unix at that time actually, but
Yeah.
much the same.
Yeah, C++, Unix, all these are invented by AT&T. And they are, you don't hear about them as much, but they contributed a lot,
So
especially
how?
the Unix operating system. They built it, but they don't know how to use it, so they made it free.
I
Now
see.
here we are. Yeah.
Okay. What about you mentioned Python? So I know the commands are pretty much the same for Python. Basically, is that what you're saying, or but
No,
the
no,
language is
not the
different?
same, but when we touch scripting, those are the things
It'd
you
be
will
help.
be able to understand how Python is working. I mean, any programming language is a bit different from each other. The most
Right.
foundation are the same.
Got it.
But in this class, I'm not teaching Python. I'm doing a couple things here. Linux,
Sure.
um, scripting, which is built in
Mm-hmm.
into Linux, and then Ansible.
Okay.
So right now we are working on one server, and when you go on the job, there is not one server, right? There are
Right.
average of like 5,000 servers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you all of a sudden you have like a 5, 10, 15, 20 servers are giving you trouble, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to go log into each of them is going to create problem yourself and
Mm-hmm.
you're stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where scripting and Ansible comes into play, and then it will help you troubleshoot and stuff.
Does deployment have anything to do with this?
Um, yeah, right now there are a couple deployments and stuff you could think here, but there is more into a deeper stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What are you doing? Are you already working in this?
No, not on the.
Line?
Well, I'm on the. It's a very specific. I basically on the XML data side. You know. Um.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, like mostly XML. flat file
Yeah,
systems kind of a thing, specific to big organization, specific to industry,
yeah.
which is logistics.
Okay.
So it's kind of I'm kind of very narrowed, and so if I go, I'm kind of, I guess, stuck in. It's a specialty, but at the same time, it's within a very specific industry only. So just trying to widen the horizon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's the thing here. A lot of other industries which are regulated, you need like a full-blown formal education, like being a doctor or a lawyer
Mm-hmm.
or something. But here, the advantage, if you into Linux,
Mm-hmm.
you barely have any high school or anything, you could jump in there and not the Linux. Let me take that in the IT environment, since
Right.
it is not regulated, right? All you
Yeah.
have to do is just be really good at this and have some certificates if it requires. But almost all big corporations, nobody requires anything. But if you um, pass the interview, which I will help you with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I give you like a bunch of questions, you memorize it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the fact of matter is, I have had people who were doctors, they couldn't make it
Mm-hmm.
clear and they learn Linux and they start earning six-figure salaries. And then I had taxi drivers who are exhausted. I want to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
All those people. I mean, it's wide open.
You sure?
If you want to just have a higher paycheck,
Yeah.
is where you start. I would say. I mean, once you learn the Linux part here compared to Windows, by the way, clearing the Windows engineer, it will be much tougher than clearing the Linux part, and you
Mm-hmm.
get paid a lot more because
Mm-hmm.
people freak out because all they're doing is just putting what we did so far. We just had nothing but text showing up on the screen, right? And we just have to understand what is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why most of the people they get shy away from the Linux part.
Mm-hmm.
And if you in reality look, programming is nothing but text. You're just looking in where the text is places correctly or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I encourage you people who are like sometimes ladies also, they are kind of don't know where to begin and break into it. But
Mm-hmm.
once you have like a good acumen navigating around Linux here, which I will help you with that, you should be able to reap six-figure salary once you
Mm-hmm.
have that. And that
Mm-hmm.
is just starting. If you
Mm-hmm.
really, really get and stay only for Linux, I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
um, you could really, I know there are some like Google.
Mm-hmm.
If you are really good, they pay you $750,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Look it up here. But if you really did good here, I wouldn't be surprised if Google or Apple they snatch you up and then start giving you really good pay.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, on my website, I listed app here. If you go into like download, there are a couple apps
Mm-hmm.
you could download on your cell phone, and then you could practice on this go, and then open this website, and then practice logging in and do here. The important thing is the more you practice, the better it gets.
Sure.
Yeah. So do those things, and then I recommend don't spend anywhere more than half hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
That way, then you are just doing a brain dump, which you shouldn't be doing. It just come back here
Mm-hmm.
like tomorrow, and then go in here and then practice like touch, ls. All these commands are easy. You
Mm-hmm.
run it on the black screen
Mm-hmm.
and on your phone also, and you should get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have this hang of it, then we'll expand it into the more complex stuff like logical volume, uh,
Mm-hmm.
permissions and stuff and all that.
Hmm.
I've
Okay.
got a question.
Yeah.
Do we have to install the virtual machine on the system for now?
No, for now, no. I am giving you access here. You could just do that.
So what we need to install in the virtual machine?
Um, oh, so here I put this as a download here, but for the entire class, you probably don't need it. But if you really want to download the virtual box, you could do that. But that's more advanced stuff.
Okay. So for now, we're going to practice only the commands you taught us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're interested and depending on how the class is going, I could definitely show you how to clone and do the virtual machine, set up DNS, SCP, cron jobs. There's a lot of things in there,
Okay.
but nothing is hard. Nothing is hard. You're just building on top of each other what you're doing here.
Got it.
Yeah, so if you stay put and do like practice like no more than half hour a day, that's what I recommend. And then go through all these things here. And then I will also do some assignments. Another thing is get in a habit of like documenting stuff, like grab a Word document and start putting things in there and then start doing screen captures and all. The more you start doing documentation stuff, the better it gets.
Okay.
And then when you get on a job, start saving something. I mean, start whenever you learn, whenever a colleague or somebody show you something, just make sure you document it somewhere and keep it with you. I have things going back 15 years. I just save it. Once somebody show me something, they don't have to show me one more time. I know I can remember it. Just document it somewhere easily where you could get it.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. So let me tell you, I used to work for Apple and they had 1 million servers.
Oh,
And guess what? They all are Linux, Red Hat Linux, the one I'm teaching you. I heard Google has the same thing, Facebook has the same thing. Uh, because it's all free, right? They don't want to pay any license. Just imagine if you pay a Windows license for 1 million server, each license is about like, let's start with $300. You can imagine how much license they have to pay.
so how you track down the servers? It's like starting from 0, 1 to 300, 1 million or what? How?
Those are divided into domains, subdomains, and host names, IP addresses, and all that. I will touch a little bit on that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna end here, and I will post it when the document and the video is up. That way, you could have at you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, and please let me know if you're gonna be not able to make a class because. After this class, if you end up skipping a class, you will lose a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this class might run for 10 weeks. But if you're traveling, I think you should be able to uh, join from anywhere. The recording is going to be there anyway, so
Okay.
So this is once a week class?
yeah, once a week. So
Sure.
the hours are 8 a.m. to 11. 8 a.m. to 11 CST. I'll update this. I think this is old information here. This is good. This is good. But the WebEx, I got rid of WebEx and I'm using uh,
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah.
And did you say it's an 8-week class?
Um, I'm thinking because this is considered a second week, but then again, this is first week for most of you.